All right. Peace. Shalom. In the name of Yahweh, in the name of the authority of Yahshua Messiah, in the direction of the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you. All right. Now, let's get back to where I left off because this is going to be part 4, all right? Because y'all going to need some time to digest everything I just told y'all, all right? Now, I know it sounds like a lot, but for the salvation that y'all want, it comes at a price. And Yahweh says nobody gets no free pass. Nobody. You got to prove yourself. Now, I'm going to say this before I get ready to go off into the other parts of oxygenation. All right, and which is why I keep harping on, because my spirit team actually showed this to me to help you understand why oxygen, and I had mentioned yesterday in the video about learning how to breathe. Learning how to breathe is part of it. The other aspect of it is eating the foods that are not stripping your body of oxygen. Just like it's 2 parts. You know what I'm saying? You got your water, all right? You might be doing your breathing exercises, but are you eating things that are stripping the oxygen from your molecular structure, from your cellular membranes? And I'm gonna read this right quick, and then I'm gonna get back onto that because, like I say, I'm trying to cover a lot today. It says taking things one step at a time. Out of this cellular biology, it says the oxidation of glucose via cellular respiration takes place so slowly over a series of small steps and results in the transfer of energy from glucose to ATP. The entire process of cellular respiration occurs in the 3 smaller pathways. Here in this book is described as figure 11.4. All right, now here's the definitions here. There's 3 definitions. All right. Now, some other day I'm gonna have to deal with you on the bonding of the glucoses. But the first one is glucoses is the first part of cellular respiration. During glycosis, the oxidation of glucose begins and some electrons are transferred to NAD. NAD is the acronym NAD. I don't have time to basically break that down because I have to go and find it. Then it says, additionally, a small amount of energy is transferred to ATP. Glycosis converts a single glucose molecule, which contains 6 carbon atoms, into molecules of pyruvate. Exactly what it says, pyruvate, Pyruvate. All right, it says each of which has 3 carbon atoms. Glycosis occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and this is also relevant. It's not speaking of it here, but you know how you always seen the churches and the media always say, oh, 666, oh, that's the stamp of the beast. Man, when I told you, I said, man, when you're moving in your devil energy, you are the beast. You are operating in the 666, which in angel numbers, you understand me, meaning that you need to realign yourself, meaning because it says your focus is backwards, okay, which causes confusion. You're made of 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons. So there you have 3 score, 6, 6, 6. That is your carbon breakdown and makeup in this realm. 6 protons, 6 electrons, yeah, and then 6 neutrons. All 3, though, they are bound together and balled up in the molecular structure to make who you are. But let's get back to what I'm seeing in the book, so I don't have to go to part 5. The Krebs, Krebs cycle. The Krebs cycle, also called the tricarboxylic acid cycle, TCA cycle, or citric acid cycle continues the oxidation of the intermediates made from glucose, resulting in the production of CO2. We know that to mean water, all right? Dealing with the periodic tables. The Krebs cycle transfers electrons to NAD, NAD, and to another electron carrier, flavin, adenine, the nucleotide, all right, which is the abbreviation acronym of FAD, all right. The Krebs cycle also transfers a small amount of energy directly to the ATP. The Krebs cycle occurs in the mitochondrion of the cell, all right. Now let's go to oxidative phosphorylation. These are these medical words, so I got to be careful. Oxidative phosphorylation, that's the term here, transfers electrons from electron carriers to an electron transport train. The electron transport train is a system of proteins in a membrane that help in the process that the cells use to transfer energy to ATP. The final redox reaction is the transfer of electrons to oxygen, which is reduced to water. Oxidative phosphorylation occurs in the mitochondrion of the cell. So, for understanding's sake, what did I just read? Basically, that all the energy that it empowers you to have your waking moments throughout the day comes from how much oxygen, all right? Oxygen that your glucose gets. That, and then you look at also, what do diabetics suffer from? Diabetics suffer from a lack of glucose. So what does that say about their disease if they lack glucose, but they have to have glucose, which is what actually is oxidated so that they can empower and have their movement to create energy, which in form is a form of electricity that comes off as electrons. You're more than what your energy is, more than what you understand that you are. You are very complex, composite, extraterrestrial carbon being and don't even know it. All right. But to swing back around, all sicknesses, and particularly all these new strains of diseases that are waking and walking up and crawling, if you can go out of your way to find out how to oxidate your body, all right, then when you do the detox metals, which you're going to have to do because they've also been talking about that, because a lot of these animals is kind of carrying what they call nanoparticles of metals. And what it is that when they go to increasing the frequency, you understand me, to get to control people, all right, that frequency that they're using will touch bases with the metals that have accumulated inside of your body, which will disrupt your electromagnetic antennas and frequencies and make you have to fight to override. But if you practice ahead of time, then when it hits you and you identify, remember I told you, you don't resist, you let it happen, and then you change it from what's inside of you. If you do remember in the Matrix, Neo did the very thing when Agent Anderson wound up catching him, and I believe it was in sequel 2 or 3. For the sake of time, I don't remember which one it was. And just when Agent had caught him and he was surrounded, which is Neo, and he stuck his hand in there to transform, and Neo started turning into another Agent Smith, he waited. And after he had already became an Agent Smith, what did he do? He released the crystals. The crystals inside of him. When he released it, what did it do? It transformed Agent Smith, and it took him and all other replicas out. I love y'all. All right. Ashe.